This morning? Wonderful. Welcome to Unity of Tucson. I'm Reverend Dr. Jonathan Zenz. I'm the senior minister here at this wonderful church, this wonderful spiritual center, and it's such a delight to share Sunday mornings with you. We're going to open today with we got all new songs this month, and so we're going to open today with a new opening song. You'll recognize it if you've been here for a while, but if you feel like you want to move your body, feel free to stand up or move your body in your chair. However you want to do it, it's all good. Here we go. I know the truth about you. I feel the power within you. I know that love surrounds you. Everything is all right. I know the truth about you. I see the light within you. Just let it shine on brightly. Everything is all right. I see you dripping with abundance and ease. I see you enjoying the life you please. Playful at work and creative at play. I see you in gratitude every day. And I say, I know the truth about you. I feel the power within you. I know that love surrounds you. Everything is all right. I know the truth about you. I see the light within you. Just let it shine on brightly. Everything is all right. I know the dreams of your heart want to fly. It's time to spread your wings and give it a try. The love you give, you know you're bound to receive. Your good can only grow the more you believe. Come on now, I know the truth about you. I feel the power within you. I know that love surrounds you. Everything is all right. I know the truth about you. I see the light within you. Just let it shine on brightly. Everything is all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Your biggest self can't be denied. You've got no place to hide because I know the truth about you. I feel the power within you. I know that love surrounds you. Everything is all right. I know the truth about you. I see the light within you. Just let it shine on brightly. Everything is all right. I know the truth about you. I feel the power within you. I know that love surrounds you. Everything is all right. I know the truth about you. I see the light within you. Just let it shine on brightly. Everything is all right. Yeah, that's a good way to start the day. How are you this morning, Linda? Great. Awesome. Great to see you. How are you, Kathy? Awesome. How are you, Roberta? Wonderful. I'm not going to say hi to everybody individually. Hi, Kimmy. I see you waving back there. Once again, welcome to Unity of Tucson. As I said before, I think I said it before. I don't know what I said before. If you're here for the first time, this is what you get. Yes, you get me in all my authenticity, and yes. Unity of Tucson is a spiritual community, and our purpose here is to live a good life, really. That's what our purpose here. You know, Thomas Troward, I know I've said this before, Thomas Troward, who was one of the great thinkers in the New Thought movement, said the only purpose in life is that it be experienced in joy. And so what I try to encourage every single Sunday is just a joyful experience. You know, like, yes, thank you. My whole point of view is that church should be fun, because if it's boring, why would you ever come back? One of the things, though, so we celebrate here. We celebrate a lot. And one of the things that I really have only had one cup of coffee today. I am sure. One of the things that we celebrate on the first Sunday of every month is birthdays. And so as you were coming in today, you may have been asked if you were celebrating a birthday this month. And if so, you would have been invited to fill out a ballot. On that ballot are a number of charities that we contribute to here at Unity of Tucson. And so is there anyone who came in who is celebrating a birthday during the month of April who did not fill out a ballot? I see one right here in the front row, Roberta. Kiana here has a birthday this month. And so what will happen is a little later in the service, we will do a draw, and whoever wins the draw, the charity of your choice will get that portion of our contribution for this month. So that's how we celebrate you. So that's going to happen a little bit later. And thank you, Roberta, for helping out with that. Anyone else celebrating who has not filled out a ballot? Awesome. Now, I also like to say every week that you may not believe everything you hear today. And that is absolutely okay, because questioning is one of the tenets I hold very near and dear in my heart that is an important aspect of the New Thought movement. And what we teach in Unity, I think, is question everything. You know, Charles Fillmore very famously said, "I reserve the right to change my mind." Right? That's an important thing to say. If I find some new bit of information, if I question something new, if something new is being intuited by means of me, it is okay to change our minds. The way we change our minds is to question, not to take anything for granted. And so if there's something that butts up against a belief system for you today, just take that into consideration. Be willing to look at it, question it if that feels comfortable, and if something new wants to be born by means of you, allow that to blossom. We also have a vision and a mission statement here at Unity of Tucson, and I would love for us to share together the words of our vision statement. Here they are. We envision a world awakened to its magnificence. That's how we see the world. The mission are the steps we take to get there. So let's state out loud the words of our mission statement. Love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. Love only, forgive everything, and remember who you are. Are you remembering who you are?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All the time?
99.
Yeah, 99% of the time. The tech crew are back there going, why is he talking to people? I can't get the microphone up fast enough, right? Yeah. Sorry, guys, this is me off the hook. Are you... It sounds like I'm leaving forever. If you're joining us for the first time, I'm just going to keep going. If you're joining us for the first time, let me first acknowledge anyone who may be joining us online for the first time and say it's such a delight to have you here with us. Whether you're watching live right now on Sunday morning or you watch the video in the archive, just know that you are a connected part of this community, and we're deeply grateful for this connection. And if you'd like to continue the connection, go to unitytucson.com/connect, and you can fill out some information there, and we will keep this conversation going. Grateful, grateful, grateful for you. Now, if you are here with us in the room for the first time today, you may have already received your gift as you were coming in, and there is a gift, if you did not receive it and you're new, there is a gift that you can pick up at the newcomers table on your way out. But there's something else that we would like to share with you. And so if you are comfortable with identifying yourself as someone who is new here today, would you please either stand up or wave your hands, whatever you're able to do, so that we can acknowledge you. And grateful to have you here. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And so grateful to have you here. And so we recognize this magnificent, magnificent visage that is right here before us. And there are words that we like to share with our entire group of new people every single week. Shall we share this with them, everyone? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. You are magnificent. Yes, you are. Absolutely magnificent. Thank you for shining your light and being here today. Yes, thank you. Now, we know that about you because one of the things we teach here is that every single person we encounter energetically is part of who we are. And so you are a reflection, I think, of the magnificence of everyone in this room. And I think that we should all be able to exclaim loudly and proudly our own magnificence. So shall we say this together? I am magnificent. Does that feel good? Yes. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Off the hook. I started it, I did, yeah. We have a ceremony, a ritual that we've adopted here at Unity of Tucson called Lighting the Flames of Faith. And here are our keepers of the flames today to guide us through that ceremony, Kathy Brandon and Laura Cass. Welcome. In this ceremony, let us acknowledge with love in our hearts that the magnificent divine golden thread through all faith traditions, through all religions, and through all spiritual paths is magnificence and love.
We light a candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to divine love as the highest calling. We light a candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light a candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. We light a candle for all those who are yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space that we are holding for them, and for all faith traditions unnamed in this ceremony. The final candle is the healing candle. It represents the revealing of the divinity at the core of all experiences. This is your candle for whatever is in your mind and heart that requires the light.
This candle here is our peace candle. We keep the peace candle consistently illuminated as a representation of the consistent illumination of peace in our hearts. And as we allow our inner peace to inform our thoughts, our intentions, our deeds, our actions, right where we are, each and every one of us is creating a more peaceful world. So let's honor this candle collectively together by stating out loud the prayer for world peace. Divine love indwells each person and radiates from one to another. Harmony is established and peace begins to reign in the world. You ready?
Yeah.
This is my friend Sherry Hoffman,
Hi.
who I've known longer than almost everybody in this room.
Scary.
I'm looking to see if my sister's here.
Yeah.
Certainly my father who's in the room, I've not known you longer than him.
Thank goodness.
But Sherry is one of our magnificent prayer chaplains here at Unity of Tucson, and she is here to guide us today with a reading in our new monthly affirmation and also to guide us in prayer. Sherry Hoffman.
Thank you. My stack is a little big today, but we'll keep it good. So I want to, wait, hold on. My first card is not where it should be. Hold on a moment. That's because it's still in the book. There we go. Ah, that middle one, forgiveness, always gets us, right? So I want to give a brief explanation today about the book and the where it's coming from, essentially. And it is based in Raja or Ashtanga yoga. And some of you may have heard the terms Hatha, Kundalini, Mantra Yoga. And these are all parts of Raja Yoga. With all of these, the goal is to control thought waves, and through that, to sustain a power of superconscious mind. The way this is done is through what they call the 8 limbs of yoga. I'm just going to kind of go through them briefly, just to kind of throw some names out to you. You don't have to remember them all, just to kind of give you a brief knowing. So the first one is yama, it's self-restraint. Niyama, things to do, caring in terms of self. He's always saying I need to remember to breathe, so I'm working on that today. Asana, posture, movement, that's what we know typically of yoga, right? So pranayama, breathing techniques. And this is where my Sanskrit words get a little tongue-tied. Partayama, detachment from the world, sitting quietly aware of the breath. Dharana, studying of the mind. Dhyana, which is the contemplation of mindless attention. And then we have samadhi, which is the bliss which defies deception. So those last ones are kind of what we would term meditation. So what I'm reading from today is coming from those first two, the yamas and niyamas. So the self, kind of what I like to think of as the 10 Commandments of yoga, essentially. It is from the book Yama Yamas, Exploring Yoga Ethical Practice by Deborah Adele. And the first yama is ahimsa, which is nonviolence. Deborah writes, nonviolence has many subtle implications. When we feel hurried, afraid, power, out of balance, and harsh with ourselves, we find ourselves speaking words of unkindness or even exploding with violent outburst. As our awareness of these nuances grows, we learn that our ability to be nonviolent to others is directly related to our ability to be nonviolent to ourselves. Our inner strength and character determine the ability to be a person of peace at home in the world. In the Karate Kid movie, Daniel did not go to karate school to study. Instead, he became skilled at karate by learning to move through daily chores, waxing of cars, sanding of wood, painting fences. In much the same way, we grow in a capacity to be nonviolent by learning how to move through the everyday challenges of life, by addressing the things that precipitate our tendency towards violence. Our capacity to be nonviolent depends on our proactive practice of courage, balance, self-love, and compassion to others. Now, one of the reasons I picked nonviolence today especially is because this is our last week that we will be celebrating the season for nonviolence. The season for nonviolence ends on April 4th. And as some of you don't know, it began on January 30th, which is Mahatma Gandhi's birthday, and it ends on April 4th, which is Martin Luther King's, I want to say their deaths, not their birthdays, sorry. So I have just a couple of quotes from those two that I think just kind of round this all off. This first one you might know quite well. Be the change that you wish to see in the world. Gandhi. In a gentle way, you shake the world. Gandhi. And the last one is from Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. He said, nonviolence is an absolute commitment to the way of love. So with those, I am going to read this month's new affirmation to you. And then let's just let it settle in for a few moments since it's new and exciting. And then we'll repeat it together, okay? Twice. So the theme this month, as I said, renew. And the affirmation is, I am constantly renewed by the knowledge of my inherent identity, God. Shall we say it together? I am constantly renewed by the knowledge of my inherent identity, God. Let's try that one more time. I am constantly renewed by the knowledge of my inherent identity, God.
Today's centering song was just coincidental. Let's just take this opportunity to reflect on that affirmation. I am constantly renewed by the knowledge of my inherent identity, God. Just take that in. I breathe in, I breathe out, I take in, I give out, I let love, I let go, I release, I know. I forgive, I receive, I can feel, I believe, I am healed, I am whole, I release, I know.
As I take a deep breath in and out, I bring myself to this moment. I bring myself to me right here, right now. And I acknowledge that this place, this breath, there is one divine God, one source energy. I am a reflection of that God, that source energy that is flowing through me at all times. God, that is my inherent goodness. That is my inherent being. And as I acknowledge this, I can settle into this moment of well-being and love and breath. I can always come back to this breath, this knowing, this now, and I affirm that this is well-being, this is my divine right. And I release anything that no longer suits me. I release this word out into the ethers, and I affirm it by saying, and so it is. Amen.
no need to try, no need to worry or question why. Surrender, let go, release, and know. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Thank you, Sherry.
You're welcome. My
Beautiful.
pleasure.
Sometimes I have to just stop myself and gather myself. As you were speaking today, I was sitting here thinking, my mind is in a million different places. And everything feels to me a little disjointed today. So I just had to take this opportunity to just center myself. And that's how easy it can be. That's spiritual practice. I agree. The featured song today, I'm reflective of this, that the last time we did this, we were not yet meeting in person. Yeah. So I've never sung this in front of a room full of people. I've only sung it to people online. But it's one of my favorite songs. I love this song. That's it. You stumble through your days, got your head hung low, your sky's a shade of gray, like a zombie in a maze. You're asleep inside, but you can shake awake, 'cause you're just a dead man walking, thinking that's your only option. But you can flip the switch and brighten up your darkest day. Sun is up and the color's blinding. Take the world and redefine it. Leave behind your narrow mind. You'll never be the same. Come alive, come alive. Go and light your light. Let it burn so bright, reaching up to the sky. And it's open wide, you're electrified. And the world becomes a fantasy, and you're more than you could ever be, 'cause you're dreaming with your eyes wide open. And you know you can't go back again to the world that you've been living in, 'cause you're dreaming with your eyes wide open. So come alive, I see it in your eyes. You believe that lie, that you need to hide your face, afraid to step outside. So you lock the door, but you don't stay that way. No more living in the shadows. You and me, we know how that goes. 'Cause once you see it, oh, you'll never ever be the same. A little bit of lightning striking, bottled up to keep on shining. You can prove there's more to you. You cannot be afraid. Come alive, come alive. Go and light your light. Let it burn so bright, reaching up to the sky. And it's open wide, you're electrified. And the world becomes a fantasy, and you're more than you could ever need, 'cause you're dreaming with your eyes wide open. And you know you can't go back again to the world that you've been living in, 'cause you're dreaming with your eyes wide open. So come alive, come one, come all. You hear the call to anyone who's searching for a way to break free. Come alive, come alive. Go and light your light. Let it burn so bright, reaching up to the sky. And it's open wide, you're electrified. And the world becomes a fantasy, and you're more than you could ever need, 'cause you're dreaming with your eyes wide open. And you know you can't go back again to the world that you've been living in, 'cause you're dreaming with your eyes wide open. Come alive. So that's a song from The Greatest Showman. You remember that movie about P.T. Barnum? And I have to tell you, so I'm going to let you in on a little secret. They always say never tell anyone what's going wrong in your life. So 2 days ago, we had tremendous wind, right? It was really, really windy, and I think it kicked up a lot of stuff and a lot of pollen and a lot of dust, and so I went out yesterday to run some errands, and I started sneezing and could not stop sneezing the rest of the day, so I'm having quite the hay fever reaction. Whew, that makes that song really... It's like trying to get all those words out, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm out of breath. Come alive. I'm going to come alive now. And so all morning I've also been praying, saying, yes, I trust and know that all that is aligned within me for perfect circulation of breath is manifest right here and right now. And it is, and it was, and it will be. So there we are. But I might ask you to go get me a bottle of water. Thank you, Sherry. I want to start today with a quote of Ernest Holmes this morning. Ernest Holmes being the founder of the religious science arm of the New Thought movement. And he offered this. I love this. The person who can throw themselves with complete abandon into that limitless sea of receptivity, having cut loose from all apparent moorings, is the one who will always receive the greatest reward. I will say it again. The person who can throw themselves with complete abandon into the limitless sea of receptivity, having cut loose from all apparent moorings, is the one who will always receive the greatest reward. Right? What are you willing to throw yourself into? That's the first question. What are you willing to throw yourself into? You know, when I think about this, I mean, he says with complete abandon into the limitless sea of receptivity, into that which is willing to take on whatever it is we choose to put into it and allow the flow to unfold perfectly, easily, and effortlessly in the way that it will, having cut loose from all apparent moorings. That's an important phrase. Because what it is saying is we must be willing to let go of all the stuff that we tend to drag with us into trying to jump into that limitless sea of receptivity. Because here's what happens. That sea of receptivity is receptive. Thank you. It's like, this is going to be an interesting day. So the sea of receptivity is receptive to everything. So if you're bringing all those things, all those moorings of past ideas into your perfect present moment and letting that be impressed upon the sea of receptivity, what you're going to create is all of that stuff over and over and over again. So are you willing to set that all aside once and for all? I think that is what we are here to do, to continue to rediscover all that is ours to rediscover. And I think one of the most magnificent things we can discover about ourselves and about each other and about this thing called life is that this thing called life has a purpose. I stated it before, Thomas Troward saying that the purpose of life is to experience joy. That's it, right? Do you believe that you can experience joy no matter what, all the time? And the rest of you? It's the goal. It's the goal, right? Because I'm going to let you in on a little secret. While I know that that is a purpose, and I hold firm in that idea of being a purpose for me, I'm not doing it all the time. I'm not there yet. And I'm a minister, twice ordained, and now with a doctorate. Like, that's all paper. That's all paper. I think that joy is our dharma. And I think that the more deeply we discover our dharma, the more we are living our life purpose. You know, Deepak Chopra defines dharma as purpose in life, and there's a deeper definition to it. But I want to use that idea, that the idea of dharma is freedom to be, the freedom to live our purpose. The dharma of fire is to burn, he wrote. The dharma of water is to flow. What is your dharma? And are you living it? In the Hindu tradition, the goal is to achieve dharma, which is a code of living that emphasizes good conduct and morality. I see a lot of bad conduct going on all around me, and I choose not to participate in that. And sometimes I still get caught up in it. But the nice thing is that the more I recognize and realize that that's what's going on, I am doing what I call narrowing the gap from realization to action in a different direction. I used to get really caught up in all this stuff. Oh my gosh, the world of politics. It's not to my liking, and the world of this and the world of that, and the world. And I've started aligning myself and identifying myself with all the stuff out there, rather than remembering who I am right here in this moment, that my purpose in life is joy. And it is not defined by anything out there. In fact, I'm the one who derives from within the joy that I then impress upon the world. And if I'm willing to do that, what I see is all of those things that I used to look to start to fall away, because they are not able to be held up in my life if I know who I am. So what is your dharma? And are you living it? Are you living it? Are you striving to live it? Because that's maybe where we get to in this moment, striving to live it. More and more, I'm allowing more and more. Good, light, life, peace, beauty, joy. Now, some traditions believe and teach that the purpose of Jesus' time on this plane of action was to invite us all to look within, to find beingness. That's what Jesus' message was. Love, period. There's nothing more to say there. Love, and understand that as your beingness. And so that's how I choose personally to interpret Palm Sunday, which today is Palm Sunday. And this is the beginning of Holy Week in the traditional Christian faith. So Palm Sunday, of course, falls on the week before Easter, the Sunday before Easter. And in Scripture, there's a story around Palm Sunday where Jesus, the man, rides into Jerusalem on a donkey. And I'm gonna do this again. Sandy and I never coordinate what we're ever gonna talk about, but her meditation this morning was perfect because she talked about Jesus entering Jerusalem on a donkey. So Jesus, the man, rides into Jerusalem on a donkey. Now, why is it a donkey? Why is it a donkey? Because it's not like they didn't have horses, because the donkey is representative of humility, humbleness. To say, I don't need to ride in on a horse. I know who I am. And as he rides in, the crowd are laying palm branches in front of him to guide the path, to create the path before him. That's why it's called Palm Sunday. All right? The people greeted Jesus not as a Messiah, not as the Messiah, but as a leader who could overthrow the Romans. Because I don't know if you know, there was a lot of tension, a lot of conflict between the Romans and Jerusalem at that time. And so Jesus was there in their eyes as someone, oh, he can overthrow the Romans. So they were welcoming him with open arms. Now, if we look at some metaphysical and metaphorical interpretation of that, the Romans are representative of the circumstantial world. Remember what I talked about before? The world, the world, the world, the world. That's what the Romans are representing, right? And the circumstantial world is subject to our individualized Christ nature. That's what Jesus was demonstrating as he rode into Jerusalem. That out there is subject to this idea, to this thought, to this individualization of the one. He who remembers who he is so deeply, she who remembers who she is, they who remember who they are so deeply, that there is absolute faith that is unshakable in that. And when we remember who we are and we have accepted our divinity as the innate identity, then life unfolds according to our dharma, our purpose, which is joy. So as we accept our identity, and that is the triumphant but humble ride, imagine yourself on a donkey. We release ourselves from the bondage of old programming. That's what it's all about. Let us release ourselves from the grip of old programming. You know, not your typical Palm Sunday message, but we're kind of like iPods. Remember those? I mean, everybody listens to their music on their phone now, but remember iPods? It was like, and you could, here's the nice thing about the iPod. In fact, I'm going to call it iGod. Because you are each and every one of you iGod, right? So on the iPod, or you as iGod, can download exactly that which is in alignment with your greatest good. The songs you enjoy, that which you love, right? We are the same. We can download that which is inherent and brings us and guides us in joy. From the infinite, not from the world, we download it and then we express it, which was the only purpose of the iPod. To play music, right? To express. How did your ecstatic dance party go?
Wonderfully.
Awesome. And so we are that. I got myself a little lost, I'm sorry. So we are that. We are iGod. That should have been the title of my talk now.
Before you go?
Am I getting wound up for next week before I go?
Right.
I don't know, maybe.
Okay.
Well, here's one of the things that's going on for me. I feel like I have so much to say, and there is a little bit of me going, oh my gosh, I have this week and next week, and then I'm on sabbatical for 10 weeks. And I want to kind of get it all out, but it's not going to be possible, so you're going to get what you get. All right, continuing on. It's all perfection, and it's all, and the thing is, it's all joy. Are we having a good time? Yeah. Awesome, because that's what it's all about. So that which is inherent, the old programming must give way to the truth of who we are. When we remember who we are, that third aspect of our mission statement, when we remember who we are, then life is lived in joy. And who are we? iGod. We are the Christ. We are the Christ. Jesus was not separate, and Jesus never claimed to be separate. Jesus was here to teach us that we are, each and every one of us, individualizations of the Christ energy, the Christ consciousness, the Christ. Christ, as defined by Charles Fillmore, the divine energy in human beings. It abides in each person as potential perfection. You are perfect just as you are. Every single one of you is perfect just as you are. There is absolutely nothing wrong with you. Do you believe that? Yes. Good. Absolutely. Because too many people are walking around assuming there's something wrong with them. There is perfection in each of us. And are we realizing its expression in our lives? Or are we holding ourselves back because there is some erroneous idea that keeps playing itself out over and over and over again in our minds that is limiting the expression of our good? Our good is here to be had and to be expressed. As our perception of limitation gives way to the infinite, we become the living embodiment of the Christ consciousness. That's what Jesus was here to invite us all into, not to set himself apart. It was other people who said he should be set apart as something else. Jesus never said that. So this ministry here at Unity of Tucson, we stand for the revelation of each person's inherent identity, which is perfection. That's what we stand for here. You are perfect, absolutely perfect, just the way you are. The fundamental premise upon which all creation exists and rests is this: perfect God, perfect humanity, perfect being. It's all perfect, but maybe it should be rephrased in this manner: perfect humanity being perfect God. Because that's God's nature in you, as you. Perfection. Palm Sunday represents boldness. I am nothing if not bold. I say some things that trigger people. I know that I trigger people. I get it. But that's also why I start the service every week by saying, if something butts up against your belief, that's the trigger. If something butts up against your belief system, just have a willingness to take a look at it. I'm not telling you to change it. I'm just saying take a look at it. Just take a look at it. Is this a belief system that is working for you to live your most magnificent experience of life? Because if it's not, guess what? I can't change it for you. But you might decide to change it for yourself. And you can change. You can change your beliefs. You're not relegated to a world of limitation just because you decided you were at some point in your life. You're not. You are magnificent. Shine that light. Share that magnificence. Share the inherent perfection that you are with the world. So Palm Sunday, as I said, represents boldness. Boldness. It is stepping triumphantly into our own power, each and every one of us, but never at the expense of others. Never at the expense of others. I often say that the great equalizer is the understanding of who I am, remembering who I am. I am that power, I am that presence, I am the light and the life that we call God, and so are each and every one of us. When we understand this to such a deep degree that this is the way we live our life, then we have eliminated all potential for phobias, isms, all of it, because we cannot know anyone else as less than if we know who we are. There's a lyric in the song, I see it in your eyes. You believe that lie that you need to hide your face, afraid to step outside, so you lock the door, but you don't stay that way. Once I took a cruise. This lyric made me think of this cruise. I've taken 3 cruises in my life on Caribbean cruises. They were all chartered ships that were for the LGBTQIA community. This one was marketed predominantly towards men, so there were 3,000 gay men and about 12 lesbians. Now, on this cruise, you have multiple. If you've never taken a cruise before, on this cruise, you go to multiple ports, right? And this was a 7-day cruise. We had 3 ports that we stopped at. The last one is oftentimes on these cruise lines in the Bahamas, and every cruise line has their own island, right? That they have purchased and they've set it up for their own use. And when you get off the ship and you're tendered into the island, you go and you have a nice day on the beach, and they serve you lunch. And this was this one cruise that I took. We were in Half Moon Cay, and they served basically sandwiches for lunch, and they had all these picnic tables out under this very, very large ramada that could accommodate thousands of people. I mean, it was a huge structure and all these picnic tables, and I was out there and got my lunch, and I'd met a number of people on this cruise, and I knew some people that had gone on the cruise with me, and I thought, well, where am I going to sit to have lunch? But I didn't see anybody that I knew. But I saw this one guy sitting at a table by himself. His name was Howard. His name was Howard. I've changed his name to protect the innocent. Howard was a podiatrist. It's funny for me to say this now. He was in his 50s. That's funny only because I turned 50 this year, so the idea of 50 being a thing. But there's a thing that happens, and that is in the gay world, which is a terrible thing to say, but I'm going to say it. In that community, I've been put out to pasture. And it's an unfortunate common idea in that world. That's not really the road I want to go down, except to say this. Howard felt that he had been put out to pasture. And so he was there, sitting alone, and I went and sat and talked to him, and he says, I've been cruising this whole week. This was at the end of the cruise, the day before we went back to Miami. And he said, I've been on this cruise, and I haven't met anybody. I've been alone this whole time. And he was so excited that somebody came and sat with him at his table. Now, he said, I have shyness. I have self-professed shyness. I identify myself as shy. And I guess that's really felt, he just started to tell me, and I think it's because I'm a minister. People start to tell me things even if they don't know I'm a minister. He said, and I started to feel really inadequate because here I am with all of these 20-somethings that spend their lives in the gym, and it doesn't feel like my people. And he said, how do I move past that? How do I step forth into an acknowledgement of what you seem to have? He was comparing himself to me, of what you seem to have, which is boldness. I said, would it surprise you to know, Howard, that I am actually incredibly shy? It surprises a lot of people because they see me as this gregarious minister up on stage every Sunday who sings and dances and has a great deal of enthusiasm. But I could actually identify myself as being incredibly shy. I have a hard time being in groups of people. I am often a wallflower at parties. And the way that I've pushed through that is the advice that I gave to Howard. I said, you know what? Just say hello. What if we start there? Just say hello. He said, but what if they reject me? I said, then you move on. Because they were not worth your time. They do not value you as a person. Move on. Just say hello. You will find your tribe. You will find those who resonate with you. I guarantee it. I said, I came down and I started this whole conversation with hello. Just say hello. What do any of us have to lose? Loss is perception. We have nothing to lose by being bold and stepping forth and saying hello. When perfection meets perfection from a consciousness of perfection, then there is no need to fear. You are perfect, just as you are. And I meet perfection every time I stand at those doors at the end of the service. And many of you come by and we hug, we embrace, we say hello. I say peace and blessings, grateful for the interaction. But it's perfection meeting perfection from the consciousness of perfection. I'm about to take an adventure that brings up a lot of fear in me. People have asked me, what are you feeling around this? I will admit I'm feeling a lot of fear because I will be traveling in a way that I've never traveled before. I've never traveled internationally by myself. I'm a little nervous about what's happening in France because that's where I land. I'm landing in France. And I'm about to walk 500 miles on a pilgrimage. I'm going to do it. Trust me, I've bought the plane tickets. It's happening. I am going to do it. It's happening. There's no question it's going to happen. Here's the thing about it, though. Everything that I have read about walking the Camino de Santiago invites this idea: let go of everything that you think you need to take. The thing that I am realizing I have to let go of that I thought I needed to take was fear. I don't need to take fear with me. I know who I am. I'm going to replace fear with excitement, and we can all do that. Every time we are faced with something that is butting up against our belief system, replace the idea with excitement. The choice is mine. I needn't be conformed to this world. I will be transformed by the renewing of my mind. So what is our innate impulse in this thing called life? To live from purpose? What is our personal impulse? What is the collective impulse? Do you believe that your personal impulse can have any effect on a collective impulse? You're right, irrespective of whether you said yes or no. You are right. Today, my encouragement to each and every one of us is to let our impulse be purpose-driven, and that is to say, let it be joy-driven, rather than personality-driven, which is looking out there to affirm our good. Let it come from within, because rooted in purpose, we thrive. Peace and blessings. You are magnificent. This is your last homework assignment before my sabbatical, because I'm not going to give you a 10-week homework assignment next week. I promise I'm not giving you homework next week. So this week, what I would like us all to do, and if you're new to our community, I give homework every week. The reason I give homework is because this philosophy is meant to be practiced, and this is the way I encourage us all to put it into practice. So this week, I invite you all to do this. Boldly and fearlessly look at your life and determine if your tendency is purpose-driven or personality-driven. Early in the week, that is today or tomorrow, I would like you to create a purpose statement. Start it by saying, my purpose is, and fill in the blank. Create a purpose statement and then carry it with you everywhere you go as a constant reminder. If it's a little piece of paper in your pocket, let it be a constant reminder. And let all subsequent decisions you make throughout the week be in alignment with that purpose. That's the homework this week. I'm going to invite us all to relax right where we are. Just allow yourself to check in and see if there's anything that is resonating with you more profoundly than anything else. Let that kernel of truth well up within you and be present in mind and heart. Just let it be there in this moment of sacred reflection. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. 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 I will share, I will share, I will share, I share. I will share. I will share this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. Right here in this moment, in this pure, perfect moment, I resonate and reflect on the infinite understanding that there is only one power. There is only one presence. There is only one God. God, the magnificent creative energy of all that is, and that energy is transmuting itself into expression, and everything that is the flow of this good. Understanding this, I know that each and every one of us is this magnificence embodied and unfolding at all times. For the nature of God so loved this magnificent thing called expression that it impressed itself upon the creative source that is itself for the purposes of unfoldment. And so we are the power, we are the presence, we are the light, we are the life, we are the peace, we are the beauty, and we are the joy of God. For there can be no separation from the infinite. We are that which is. This is our inherent identity. Rooted in this identity, I trust and know that each and every one of us moves forth with prayerful purpose in every aspect of our lives, knowing that that purpose is rooted in that identity. Joy, love, light, life, peace, beauty. And so I allow, with grace and with ease, the magnificence to unfold. And it is with gratitude overflowing that I accept, trust, and know this to be so. And in this acceptance, I affirm it, easily and effortlessly, as I release this word, knowing it is complete in the expression of it, for that is God's nature. I affirm it by saying, and so it is. Amen. I will share, 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 I will share this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love, this love, this love, this love. One of the magnificent lessons I learned when I was learning how to pray with people is to not fear the silence. Take a breath. I am deeply grateful to this community, and I am deeply grateful to all that has conspired to make this thing called life happen. I'm going to introduce the person who is sharing today as we are taking our time for offering. But I wanted to let you know that many of you have remembered and have acknowledged it, but yesterday was my 3rd anniversary as the senior minister here. And Raphael and I were reflecting this morning that it was an interesting first year because I was preaching to an empty room that whole first year. But I'm so grateful that this room continues to fill and continues to grow and thrive, and that is what we do as a community. Would you please welcome today to guide us in our offering, our sharing speaker, Emila de Toro. Hi, Emila! Do you want this? I'm going to give her, you want that one? Whichever one you want. Whatever you're comfortable with.
I'd rather this. I'm not so fond of being behind a lectern. But I just wanted to note that your homework about creating a purpose statement and living it, comparing our choices to it, it is a 10-week assignment. We could do that the entire time you're gone, over and over.
So that is your assignment for the next 10 weeks.
11 now, because you'll talk again next week. Anyway, so grab that. And if you are a person who identifies as female or call yourself a woman, you're welcome to join us on the 8th, where we will be talking about how we live our purpose, how we as women or people who identify as female can support each other in living our purpose. And that would be the reimagining of Sophia, the women's group that used to be very active here. So I'm sure it's in the bulletin. You can see the information. But what I also wanted to talk about for the offering was this idea of ahimsa and nonviolence and transitioning that into love, because we all carry that baggage around related to finances. And we don't want to bring that with us as we move forward. And this is a great place to explore our beliefs around finances, being nonviolent and compassionate with ourselves as we do that, and really listen deeply for the ways in which we want to be generous and we want to offer support to a place that offers us support. So that, for me, is what my weekly offering is about, is generosity, nonviolence for myself, for the world, that peace candle being lit all the time. So I encourage you to consider those qualities as you are deciding on your offering today. And there are many ways to give here: your time, your talent, your treasure. If you're going to be giving of your treasure today, you can use this QR code, and you can set up a weekly automatic donation like I have, and wake up every Sunday morning to a message saying, "You've given, thank you for your contribution." It's really fun. You can text Unity, or you can drop an offering in the box. So thank you so much for being here, for living your joy with us.
Thank you. Thank you. As the baskets go around, we're going to sing our giving song. And thank you, thank you, thank you for all the ways that you contribute. Here we go. Feel free to step up, stand if you're able, and dance. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful once again. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful. One last time, gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful. Glorious. Here to bless our offering is our prayer chaplain, Sandy Solomon.
I love blessing, don't you?
Yes.
It is the best. And not only can we bless, but we can multiply. We have that ability. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to rub our hands together. We're going to get great energy going. I'm going to ask you to turn around so we can just feel all of this. And let us say together, we bless these gifts. And we see these gifts going out and blessing our community and the world. And so it is. Amen. Yes.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Sandy. Let's do our birthday draw. So I'm going to invite Roberta up. But before we actually do the draw, if you are celebrating a birthday, would you either stand or raise your hand, whatever you're able to do, and let us know so that we can acknowledge you. And let's sing Happy Birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Glorious. Let's see who's going to win the draw. I'm not looking. I'm not looking. I'm not falling down the stairs either. Is that one? No, that's a blank name tag. That's the one, okay. Today, it's Kiana! And she is inviting us to give a portion of our contribution out to the world to Youth on Their Own this month. Thank you. Yes. We support the community in many, many ways. One of the ways that we do it is by participating in events like the NAMI Walk. And I want to acknowledge everyone who participated in the NAMI Walk. I know a lot of you are wearing your shirts today. If you participated, would you stand up or raise your hand, whatever you're able to do, and let us give great gratitude for you for raising so far, you have raised $1,215 for the National Alliance on Mental Health. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. April is also Volunteer Appreciation Month, and so I do want to acknowledge all of our volunteers. Would anyone who is a volunteer in any of these areas please stand or wave your hands to be acknowledged? If you work in hospitality, our tech team, our youth program, as greeters or ushers, in repair and maintenance, as prayer chaplains, as Unitix ambassadors, in the events committee, on the bookstore committee, with choir or with music, in the office or administration, or in small groups. There are many ways that you can volunteer, and I'm so grateful to each and every one of you. And we have created these certificates of appreciation for every single one of you. I'm going to leave these in Sherry's hands to distribute. I will say, we didn't put everybody's names on it because the minute you put somebody's name on it, you forget somebody. We didn't want anybody to be left out, so please make sure you get your certificate from Sherry. So grateful for you all. We do have a new artist who has got their work up in the Galleria Sagrada, so here to introduce our new artist this month, would you please welcome the manager of the Galleria Sagrada, which is the gallery in our foyer, Sue Rumsey.
I want to, first of all, thank Jonathan for many, many things, but for the idea to say hello, because I am going on a cruise by myself at the end of the month. And I'm going to say hello. Okay, our new artist this month is Sandra Montgomery. She is showing an eclectic variety of work, from watercolor to acrylics, oil, permanent acrylic, which is basically enamel. She uses the permanent acrylic on the glass of old collectible windows. By the way, these windows can even be hung outside. I have one hanging under a shelter on my patio for 6 years, and it still looks new. Sandra is very active in several Tucson painting groups, including the Barrio Painters, Sonoran Plein Air Painters, and is a signature member of Southern Arizona Watercolor Guild. She says her favorite subjects to paint are limitless, but her style is realistic, impressionist. She teaches contour drawing techniques in beginning watercolor and loves doing custom work. Some of those projects have included glass inserts in kitchen cabinets and glass end tables. As she says, if it's glass, she can paint on it. And she assures me that if you commission a piece from her, she will donate a percentage of the sale to Unity. Sandra has left a portfolio book on the art table so you can see the variety of work that she does. She says, you never know when you would like your vision interpreted in paint. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. There is an events committee meeting today, I want to let you know. Newcomers are welcome to the events committee. The next big event that is being planned is our gala, right, Karen? Yes, so if you want to help work on our gala, which will be on November 10th, please join Karen Ives, the chair of the events committee, in room 3 over in the annex after the service today. A couple of other things that are happening. We, of course, have our Gaslight outing to see Robin Hood on April 22nd. The 3 p.m. show, if you've not purchased your tickets, you can still purchase them online or in the Desert Light Metaphysical Books and Gift Store. Or you can go online, unitytucson.com. There are many ways that you can get your tickets to that. It's going to be a fun event. I will wave to you from Spain. The new Unity men's group is going to be meeting the first Friday of every month. They will meet this Friday, April 7th at 6 p.m. So join them here for the new Unity men's group. Also, as Emila mentioned, we have Sophia Reimagined having a meeting on Saturday, April 8th at 10 a.m. That's the next slide. There we go. At 10 a.m. In Harmony Hall. So join the conversation for those who are interested in revitalizing and reviving Sophia, the Sisters of Faith in action. Also, Sophia, the Greek word for wisdom. So join for that. Our prayer chaplains on duty today are Sandy Solomon, who you've seen, who led us in meditation and guided us in our offering, and also Don Brazil, who is back there. Thank you so much for your service. They will be available to you after the celebration here in the sanctuary if you need a moment of prayer. You can also submit your prayer intentions by writing them out and putting them in our prayer intention box, which is in the lobby. You can email them to prayer@unitytucson.com. There are many ways that you can let us know your intention in prayer. And we collect them all, and the prayer chaplain team here prays over them all, and we also subsequently send them to Silent Unity, which is Unity's worldwide prayer ministry. I want to say thank you to everybody who made today possible, and there's so many of you. Let's thank our tech team, Jake, Jim, Don, and Rowan in the back there. Thank you so much. Thank you to our prayer chaplains, Don, Sandy, and Sherry, all on duty today. Thank you so much for your service. To Kathy and to Laura, our keepers of the flames today, thank you. Thank you to Emila de Toro for guiding us in our offering. Yes. Thank you to our hospitality team. I can smell those cookies. Remember, there is hospitality in Harmony Hall following the celebration today. Also, let's give great thanks to Linda, Raphael, and Paul, this magnificent group of musicians. Thank you. Thank you all for... Thank you. And thank you for being here, making your presence known, not just at Unity, but in this magnificent thing called life. You are magnificent, and I will never take that for granted. I am so grateful to be a part of this community. Let's share together as we close our time this prayer of divine awareness before our final song. I am infinite light. I am infinite love. I am infinite power. I am infinite presence. Wherever God is, I am. Wherever I am, God is. And so it is. Amen. You'll recognize this song. Now there is peace on earth, for it has begun with me. Now there is peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Now we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Peace has begun with me, and this is the moment now. With every breath I take, this is my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. I'm grateful there is peace on earth, and it has begun with me. Make it a magnificent week, everyone.